I will always remember the class of 2021.
Good evening. Please stand and join the class of 2021 President Noshin Tasnim in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Star-Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, the Superintendent of the Hudson City School District, Dr. Maria Lagana Suttmeier.
Good evening and welcome to the graduation of the class of 2021. Let me tell you, no obstacles were going to stop these kids from crossing this stage, and thank you so much for your support in the most challenging year we have ever seen. So congratulations. It is now my honor to bestow on the salutatorian, Emma Johnson, if you could please come forward for your medal. So you'll notice it's a bit reversed in the program, and we apologize, but now I would like to ask our valedictorian, Hannah Konow, to come up for her medal. So once again, welcome. We are so happy to celebrate our graduations on this stage. Seniors, it is with great pride that I address you today as you graduate and begin the next leg of your life's journey. This is my 9th graduation speech as superintendent, and I continue to be impressed with the accomplishments of each graduating class. As the class of 2021, you have reached milestones and achievements that have prepared you well for what will come next on your individual paths. It is evident by your accomplishments in high school that what we have seen each and every day from you that the future is in very capable hands. Dr. Martin Luther King once said, "Everyone can be great because anyone can serve." You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Today, I want to focus my remarks on the importance of community service and highlight how you have, in a very direct fashion, benefited from such service this past year. While the pandemic may have closed our front doors, it did not close down our spirit. In fact, through a core of community partners, there was increased outreach to families to ensure childcare for essential workers, technology and connectivity for our students and teachers, hundreds of meals served each day for families in need, check-ins to ensure families had social-emotional support, and a general outpouring of assistance to keep teaching and learning alive. The class of '21 certainly has earned the spotlight after enduring a year of unprecedented and unique circumstances. Through it all, you continued to work hard, to persevere, and to serve your school and community with a heart full of grace and a soul generated by the love Dr. King spoke of. You can and should be extremely proud of what you had to endure and the way in which you did. I know I certainly am. As you move on to fulfill your dreams in college, the military, or going directly into the workforce, I ask you to please remember the importance of service to your community, no matter what your future plans are. One small act of kindness can truly change a destiny for the better. We are extremely proud of you, our 2021 graduates. You are, yes. You are a resilient group of individuals who managed to make the best of your senior year in spite of the challenges you had to confront. Your ability to meet all of the graduation requirements while rising above that adversity proves that you have what it takes to be successful beyond the walls of Hudson High. With every ending, there is an opportunity for a new beginning. Opportunities to make new friends, learn new things, and visit new places. Wherever life takes you after graduation, there will be opportunities around every corner. Be bold. I will always remember the class of 2021 as my last graduating class as the superintendent of this wonderful small city school district. It has been my pleasure to observe your academic, athletic, and artistic development over the years. Now is your time to cherish the memories, look back with pride, and move forward with hope. Graduates, on behalf of your parents, family, educators, and the entire Hudson City School District community, I congratulate you on reaching destination graduation. Thank you.
Dr. Suttmeier, we'd like to take a moment to recognize you this evening at what will be your final commencement ceremony as superintendent here at the Hudson City School District. We've accomplished so much together as a district under your leadership. We have overcome many challenges over the course of your career, but none quite as daunting as a worldwide pandemic. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the Hudson City School District, we thank you for your leadership, dedication, and compassion over the last 23 years, and 10 of which spent as the superintendent. We have a few tokens of gratitude for you this evening: a yearbook to remember this year's class, a 2021 graduation tassel. So thank you for keeping your heart blue and gold all these years. You will be forever a Blue Hawk.
Thank you so much. So sweet. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the salutatorian of the class of 2021, Emma Johnson.
Hello, class of 2021 Hudson High School staff, families, and everyone else here with us tonight. Crazy as it may seem, this is the end of our journey together, 12 years in the making. Our time in person together may have been cut short, but I am still so grateful for the time that we did get. Our high school experience, especially senior year, definitely looked different from what we expected, but we did it, and now here we are, graduating and moving forward. We're all stepping into something new, whether it be college or the workforce, or whether you're undecided about what comes next. That is something that I definitely relate to, as anyone who knows me well knows that I am very indecisive. If you're trying to figure out where we should go to eat, I'm definitely not the person to ask. More memorable, though, for me than not being able to pick a restaurant was my struggle in deciding what to do in the future. For years, about 4 years to be exact, my least favorite question was, what are you doing after high school? Because I had no clue what to say. I was embarrassingly low on answers without even an idea of what my goal was. Even after I eventually realized how much I loved history, I couldn't seem to figure out what it was I wanted to do with it until January of this year, when I finally decided on history education. It was literally a matter of weeks until applications were due, and I felt entirely in over my head, but I managed to find a school I wanted to, go Great Danes by the way, and get everything done in time. Just when it seemed like I would be going undecided in the fall, things came together. I firmly believe that there is never a last chance to figure things out and to explore new waters. If I had missed the deadline, there are other semesters that I could have applied. If you don't know what you're doing, that's okay. High school is not the end of the line for us. It's a stepping off point. There's still so much life, so much of our time on earth to be lived. Whether you realize a month from now a career that you want to pursue, or whether you spend the rest of your life trying to figure out what's right for you, it is never too late to decide to go for it and set sail. Even if it's scary and out of your comfort zone, it's still worth doing. In fact, in my experience, that's usually the experiences most worth doing. They have the most payoff. Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the boat lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. Let us never be afraid to dream big and act on those dreams. The only limitations on ourselves come when we set them. The future is like the ocean. It is unpredictable and expansive, and you can't see it all, but in it there is so much beauty. There's a whole ocean of opportunity out there waiting to be sailed and charted, and it is up to us to sail our oceans. You can't do that if you never leave the safe waters of the harbor. So go on, Blue Hawks, dream a new dream and another one after that, because it's never too late to go for something you want. Before I conclude my time here at Hudson High, the place where I have grown so much over these last 4 years, there are some people that I have to thank for helping me along the way. First off, I have to give a shout out to my best friend, Noshin Tasnim, who during freshman year told me that I better mention her in my valedictorian speech. I thought she was absolutely crazy for thinking I would get anywhere near giving a speech, though maybe she wasn't too crazy after all, though a little ambitious. Noshin, I don't know how I would have made it through high school without you, but we did it, Now here we are, and go out there and change the world. To my family, you are the most amazing thing that has ever happened to me. I don't know how I got so lucky. Mom and Dad, you have always been there no matter what we needed and have worked so hard for us. To my brothers, you can be a little annoying at times, but overall, I guess you guys aren't too bad. At times, I might even go as far as to say you're pretty great. And to my sister, Caitlin, you are the best person I know, and I would not be who I am today without you. I love you all so much. My faith in Jesus Christ is a pillar of who I am, so it would not be right for me to end these thank yous without saying thank you to God for always being there for me and for so much more. And lastly, to everyone here at Hudson High School, thank you for giving so much of yourselves to every student. We couldn't be here today without all of you, and though we may not always show it, I am sure I'm not alone in saying thank you. Now, Blue Hawks, let's get out there and change the world. Don't let anything stop you. I will leave you with the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. In all that we do, let us always find the courage to be the ones who go out and find that step. Thank you.
Great job, Emma. Ladies and gentlemen, the valedictorian of the class of 2021, Hannah Konow.
Good evening, teachers, administrators, staff, class of 2021 graduates, and family. It is such a blessing that we are able to gather here tonight amidst all of the restrictions, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak to all of you. Now, I can't really speak on school experiences as much as I'd like to, because I spent the last year and a half of school in my bedroom, as did many of you. At the beginning of the pandemic, it felt like the world was crumbling around us, and we had no idea what our future was going to look like. It was scary to think about everything that was going on and how much it impacted everyone's lives. And now, 15 months later, we're finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Case numbers are going down, more people are getting vaccines, and restrictions are being lifted. Some people don't even have to wear masks anymore. Walking around in public with our naked faces is definitely a weird feeling to get used to again. One interesting circumstance that the pandemic gave us was forcing us to do school virtually. Virtual school opened our eyes to the many ways of abstract learning, such as learning in bed, sleeping in right before class, or maybe even during class, there'd be no way of knowing. Learning outside, in the car, in the school parking lot because your Wi-Fi at home wasn't working, or my personal favorite, listening to class like a podcast while you're doing chores around the house that were supposed to be done the day before. It's no secret that the class of 2021 had a strange senior year. A lot of things that we were supposed to have were taken away from us. So many field trips, events, seeing our classmates every day. This past year was a bit rocky for all of us, but just like any setbacks we will experience, we were able to push through to the end. Although our memories together were fewer and farther between, we still had some enjoyable moments. Senior parade, sports seasons, a prom. We are so very lucky that we were able to have those experiences because not every class can say the same. Now that most of us have a sense of what we're going to do with our lives after high school, we can finally take a deep breath and relish in our accomplishments. We all made it to the finish line. It wasn't easy, but we did it. You guys should all be so proud of yourselves, seriously. It's important to be proud of all of your hard work, but you can't work towards goals only to chase that euphoric feeling, because it's very short-lived. One of the most important values that we need to practice as people is humility. Our successes could not have been achieved without the help and support of others. Your family, your teachers, your coaches, your friends. Even if it feels like you worked alone, you were provided with the resources and tools you needed to get it done. Without our family and friends supporting us, and our teachers and administrators providing their help and resources, we wouldn't be walking across the stage today. So take this time now to thank those people, because we could not have achieved this alone. I am forever grateful and forever indebted to the people who have made a positive impact in my life. To my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, and my grandmas in the audience. my grandpa's watching from above, and anyone else who has supported me and pushed me to work hard even when I didn't believe I was capable. Thank you. I love you guys. To my friends, thank you for sticking by my side since I was the new kid freshman year. And for helping me come out of my shell. Lost my space. You guys have helped me more than you will ever know. Thank you. And to teachers and administrators, thank you for challenging me to step outside of my comfort zone and giving me the opportunity to learn and grow both intellectually and personally, especially to Mr. Vorwald in the music department, because playing music gave me a sense of belonging and showed me how vibrant our community really is. I met people who would become some of my closest friends, and I watched myself evolve as a musician over the past 4 years. Hudson is where the band kids thrive, and you inspired me to continue playing through college, so thank you. Now it's time for us to take a step into the next phase of our lives, whether it be college or apprenticeship or work or joining the military or taking a gap year. Everyone's lives are going to be different. We were walking down the same road together, and now we're at the point where the road splits into 100 different paths, and you get to choose which one to follow. The freedom we have is compelling, but it's important that we choose wisely. The choices you make greatly impact your life and the lives of those around you. Just remember that education is one thing that no one can take away from you, and learning doesn't stop after school. Learning never stops. Everything you experience is a learning curve that will help you grow and shape you into the person you are becoming. I still have a lot of learning and growing to do, and so do you. Now that we're adults, there are going to be plenty of obstacles, but there are also going to be plenty of successes. Nothing lasts forever, so keep hanging on and continue to move forward and work hard. We have the ability to create change in our world and contribute to society in amazing ways, and I know all of you will do great things. And when you find you're doubting yourself, don't forget everything you overcame to get to where you are today. It's so hard not to compare yourself to others, especially in the society we live in with social media. I've struggled my whole life with self-confidence, and building it up takes time. Once you have a better understanding of who you are and how worthy you are of love and acceptance, you realize how important it is to stay authentic to yourself and to only let people into your life who you know will accept you for who you are. You shouldn't ever feel like you have to change your personality to impress others, and you shouldn't let anybody bring your energy down. I didn't know who I was for most of my life. I spent way too much time and energy pleasing others, and that's where I thought my happiness came from, and it's not. I, and probably a lot of you, spent my quarantine looking inward and focusing on myself. And I realized just how important it is to trust your intuition and realize how amazing you are. You are truly a blessing, each and every one of you. Recognizing your worth and having confidence in yourself is not something that you automatically achieve. You have to choose to do it every single day. You'll have good days and bad days, but it's important to understand that the only person that you're guaranteed to be stuck with for the rest of your life is yourself. So it's important to love and accept yourself as much as you want to love and accept others. The world starts with you, and even though it may not seem like it, you impact the lives of everyone around you. The world would be a much better place if more people took the time to learn how to love themselves and in turn spread love to other people. With all that being said, I'm going to share something that I learned with you all, and it's something that you can take with you and keep in the back of your mind as you move forward. And that is that the key to success is finding a way to balance confidence and humility. Being able to recognize your own worth while understanding the importance of others without trying to compare yourself to them. It's very difficult to do. Very few have been able to figure it out. It's one of life's biggest puzzles, and the only way to solve it is by learning from life experiences. I'm still learning, and so are you. Once you find this balance, combined with passion and hard work, you will be unstoppable. Dear Hudson High class of 2021, remember to push yourself, challenge your boundaries, stay humble, spread love, and remember to be proud of how far you've come and how far you're going. Thank you.
Great job, Hannah. Ladies and gentlemen, the principal of Hudson Senior High School, Robert J. LaCasse.
It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce Jacob Walthour Jr. Jacob Walthour Jr. is the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Partner of Blueprint Capital Advisors, a $1 billion investment firm based in Newark, New Jersey. He is a proud member of the Hudson High School class of 1986. He received varsity letters in football and basketball and captained both teams. He was voted by his senior class as best dressed and most likely to appear on the cover of Money magazine, which was a sign of things to come, I'm sure. After high school, Jacob received his BA cum laude from Nelson Rockefeller School at the State University of New York at Albany. Jacob has over 30 years of Wall Street experience in the areas of investment banking, traditional and alternative asset management. He is the son of Jacob Walthour Sr. and Barbara Walthour, who he credits with developing his business foundation through their family-owned business in Hudson, New York. He co-founded Blueprint Capital Advisors in 2014 and oversees the firm's business and investment activities. Prior to founding Blueprint, he served as Vice Chairman of Product and Business Development in the Investment Management Division of Cohen & Company, serving on the Management Committee. Jacob started his career in the investment banking division of Lehman Brothers and also held senior positions at Citadel Investment Group, Moore Capital Management, and Morgan Stanley. Jacob currently serves on the investment committee for the $7.5 billion Margaret A. Cargill Philanthropy in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. He served 2 terms on the investment subcommittee of the Girl Scouts of America, overseeing their pension and foundation assets. He served as director of the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Human Rights. He's the trustee for New York Foundation of the Arts, director of New York Cares, and trustee of the ECLC School for Children and Adults with Disabilities. Jacob has been recognized for his success and involvement in the financial services industry. Black Enterprise magazine recognized him as one of the most influential blacks on Wall Street. He has garnered widespread attention for the work his firm is doing for his clients in New Jersey's black community. He was recognized among New Jersey's most influential people of color. Jacob is regularly called upon to share his strategic and tactical views on the investment industry and issues related to race, diversity, and inclusion. He is a regular guest on CNBC and Fox Business News, where he discusses the state of the markets and actionable investment ideas. He has contributed to a variety of articles in Vanity Fair, The Wall Street Journal, GQ, Reuters, Forbes, and Bloomberg. Without further ado, please welcome Hudson High School alum, class of 1986, Jacob Walthour.
Are you talking about me? Thank you, folks. Got a little choked up listening to Mr. LaCasse talk about my history. Got a little choked up because the man who was there every step of the way, from the time I came out of the womb to the time I took my first steps, who encouraged me to do everything that I did in life and never, ever let me quit anything I started, my dad wasn't here to hear it. We lost him in December to the COVID virus, and I just want to take a second to thank him. I know he's looking down on me, and I dedicate this speech tonight to him. You know, it feels really good just to be out. I don't know about you, but I was getting really tired of wearing a mask. I was getting really tired of being on Zoom, and I was getting really tired of wearing sweatpants. And, you know, in some ways, you know, when I think about kind of what we've come through over the course of the last, 16 plus months, I said, wow, this must have been what it felt like when they signed the Emancipation Proclamation, or when someone was truly freed from bondage. I mean, we spent a very, very long period of time cooped up in our houses. And, here we are right now, right here, amongst one another, watching the class of 2021 receive the honors that they're due. And for me, and I don't know about you, it was a very scary year. But again, we're here. It was a very frustrating year. But again, we're here. It was a very painful year and a very tearful year. But again, we're here. And I think, right now, when you think about all that we've come through, right now, what really matters is that we're all here. We've endured, we fought, we battled, and together, mother, father, grandmother, community, students, we got through this. And we now have a graduating class of 2021. There is an old proverb in Africa that says, it takes a village to raise a child. And as I stand here today, I say with great pride that I am really glad to be from this village. This village raised me, and I am glad to see that this village is still producing some of the finest young leaders that this city, this county, this state, this country, and this world will come to know in Hudson High School's class of 2021. When I say I come from this village, when I came in the door, I was immediately greeted by Robin Stever, and then I saw Mindy Hoyt, and then I saw Miss Frances Hughes, who's like a second mother, and Miss Jean Peterson, who's like a second mother. And they're all relatives of people who are graduating here today. And, I want you to know that all of my dreams, all of the things that Mr. LaCasse talked about, they started right here in the city of Hudson. And I know it might seem like I've risen to such a level that I don't remember where I came from. I will always remember where I came from. The city of Hudson and Hudson, New York, and I hope that you all remember where you came from too. It was this village that started me on my way. And as much as I give my parents credit for doing a great job, there were hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who shaped and molded Jacob Walthour Jr. into what he became. There were my siblings and other family members. Your classmate, Mark Williams, just happens to be my cousin. And his mother and his mother's father were very instrumental in my life. Victor Gorman, I don't know if you know it, but I know your family, and your family has been synonymous with great baseball for over 40 years in this town. Pierre Rice, I'm not sure if you know it, but it was your grandfather who was the first inspiration to me as a young African American, who told me that I could believe in myself and become a successful African American businessman. Hayden Rubino, I'm not sure if you know this, but your mother, Leslie, it was Porpa then, it's now Rubino. In school and today, she wasn't just a friend, she was a sister. And I'm very familiar with what you wrote to her on Mother's Day. You said to her, "You are the best mom a kid could ever hope for." And I just want you to know that I know her well enough that I agree. She is the best mom that you could hope for. Tanner Race, Tanner Jacob Race. And this one's really hard for me. I know you know this, but I need to say it. You too had the best mom a child could ever ask for. I had the privilege of graduating with your mom 35 years ago across this stage. Lynn was very special to me. And again, like Leslie, she wasn't a classmate, she was a sister. I miss her voice, I miss her smile, I miss her hugs. She was then and she is now an angel. And Tanner, you are my hero. You are my MVP. And you always will be. I'll tell you a funny story about your mom. You know, she was very much a part of my village, as was Leslie. And when I entered high school, I was a very funny-looking individual. I had really big ears and buck teeth. Some would say that my head had not quite grown yet. And so by the time I became a sophomore, I guess my head grew and I became a little bit more attractive. And so I started getting attention. And, you know, one day, you know, being my usual kind of athletic, arrogant self, I was sitting on the radiator with the cool kids, or so I thought. And Lynn and Leslie came up to me, and Lynn said, "Mr. Walthour, I need to speak to you." And I was like, wow, she's calling me Mr. Walthour. That must be pretty serious. I looked at Leslie, and she looked at me like I was in trouble. And so I said, maybe I ought to kind of walk with them and find out kind of what I've gotten myself into. And you have to really picture this to appreciate it. I'm 6'2" in black, and I've got a 5'1" white woman on this side and a 5'1" white woman on this side, and I'm the one who looks scared, right? So finally, you know, walking down the hall far enough, I said, you know, I can't take this anymore. What did I do? So Lynn says to me, it's not what you did, it's what you're doing. And I said, what am I doing? She says, you're exercising poor judgment. And so I looked at Leslie, and Leslie said, yeah, you're exercising poor judgment. I said, well, why don't you tell me how I've exercised poor judgment? She said, I don't like your taste in women. And then I looked at Leslie and said, yeah, we don't like your taste in women. And so before I could even open my mouth, Lynn said, let me stop you right there. Going forward, Leslie and I have decided that we're going to decide who you're allowed to date. And going forward, you make a proposal to us, and we'll tell you whether or not we approve. Needless to say, I went from my sophomore year to my senior year without a date. I must have made 11 or 12 proposals, and they just wouldn't approve any. And so we got to the point where we were having our senior picnic. I don't know, do you still have senior picnics? You didn't get one this year? I'm sorry. So I spoke to Lynn and Leslie at the senior picnic, and I was talking to them. We had a great conversation. I said, you know, I'm going to go over there and rap to Carmen. And they said, okay. And I was like, okay. And they said, yeah, okay. You can go talk to her. And I said, well, you never approved of anyone else over the course of the last 3 years. Why do you approve of this? And they said, you don't get it. We just wanted to make sure you got out of high school. And we knew that you were going to get distracted. And we always talked to you about your dreams, and you were the biggest dreamer we knew. And so we said that we're going to do our part in making sure you, Jacob Walthour, get the start that you need once you leave Hudson High School. And so Hayden and Tanner, I am forever grateful to your mothers for protecting me and allowing me to leave here in a good place so that I could launch my career. You know, I have 4 kids of my own, and I've sat through 3 graduations, and hopefully, God willing, in 4 years, I'll graduate another. And I really, really love my kids, and they are my favorite pastime. But I got to tell you, kids are a little different nowadays. It always seems to be about them. On your birthday, it's about them. On Father's Day, it's about them. On Mother's Day, it's about them. And I want you to know, class of 2021, today, it's about you. But I think we have a couple of housekeeping items that we need to take care of. And the first of which, I think, is just to say thank you. Thank you to all of those who are part of your village. Your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors, school administrators, doctors, teachers, coaches, friends. Saying those 2 powerful words, you will never regret. Now, I know that some of you made it very easy for teachers, for parents, for grandparents, for the community, and some of you made it a little harder. So when nobody's looking, make sure you pull someone aside and say, I'm sorry. Maybe I made some misjudgments. Maybe I showed a little immaturity. Maybe I caused a little pain and frustration, maybe even helped generate a few tears. But do yourself that. Make sure you say, I'm sorry. In every village, there were some who cared so much about your future that they never gave up on you. And because of them, you're probably here today. For this, I hope you say to that group of people when you get the time, I love you. You see, your village has invested in you and cared for you and loved you. Why? They rooted for you. Why? They cheered for you. They taught you. Why? The answer is one I promise you you're going to like. Because for the last 18 years of your life, they've made it about you. They wanted you to have the foundation for limitless success and the skills necessary for you to achieve your dreams. They wanted you to realize the American dream, defined by the founders of our democracy as life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I repeat, they wanted you to realize the American dream, defined by our founders of this democracy as life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I know in an era of politics and race and inequality, the whole concept of the American dream can be controversial. We're in the middle of a very serious period in history. Who has time to dream? Some of us even think that the American dream is a fictional concept, and just that, a dream, and only kids believe that dreams come true. I ask all of you, not just the graduates of 2021, every man, every woman, every child, every him, her, they, sorry, I'm not totally up to all the pronouns, to buy into this concept. Whether you're 6 or 60, to dismiss the doubts that dreaming doesn't make sense, to expunge the excuses that dreaming doesn't make sense, to throw away the thinking and embrace your dream. Whether you're a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican, you should dream. Whether you're a liberal, a moderate, or a conservative, you should dream. Whether you're a Christian, Jewish, or a Muslim, you should dream. Whether you are black, white, Native American, Latinx, or Asian, you should dream. Whether you are rich, middle income, or poor, you should dream. Whether you were born here or whether you were born in another nation, you should dream. Whether you speak English or you speak Mandarin, you should dream. If there's one thing I want to leave you with, it's the importance of dreaming. When I was a child, I watched my parents dream. And I know that concept really doesn't make a lot of sense. Parents dreaming? Yes. I'm a big believer that no one should ever stop dreaming. I have children, but I still dream. Neither of my parents graduated from high school, but they didn't stop embracing their dream. My dad was born in the Deep South and had suffered the worst racism had to offer, but he never stopped dreaming. My mom's mom died when she was in the 11th grade, and she had to take care of 8 siblings, but she never stopped dreaming. Together, they had 3 children, but they didn't stop dreaming. They had dreams of owning a home. They bought one house, then another, and then another. They had dreams for their children. They whipped our butts. They made us respect adults, told us we should never dabble in drugs, made sure we didn't break the law, and forced us to go to college. They dreamed of owning a business when they were in their 40s. Now think about that. Who in their 40s really thinks about doing something that risky, that exciting? In their 40s, they did. And they had 35 years of business success together. I saw my parents dream, so I embraced the whole concept of dreaming. And important that you take away from my accomplishments is something that wasn't on the piece of paper that Mr. LaCasse read. My dreams were not born in London, where I've traveled to. My dreams were not born in Tokyo, where I've traveled to. My dreams were not born anywhere else but right here, in a little decrepit house on 3rd Street, between State Street and Columbia. Back then, I saw myself being a successful businessman. Yes, on 3rd Street here in Hudson, New York, I dreamed. Yes, here at Hudson High School, I dreamed. On the same playgrounds that you played on, I dreamed. On the same streets that you walked, I dreamed. Wearing the same uniforms that you wore, I dreamed. I saw myself being a successful businessman. I wanted to work on Wall Street. People told me I was foolish. People told me I was childish. People told me that it just didn't make sense given my background. Here I was, the descendant of slaves and sharecroppers, but I wanted to work on Wall Street. My family had experienced the pain of discrimination for 350 years, but I wanted to work on Wall Street. One of my grandparents drank himself to death, and 3 died before I even got a chance to know them, and I wanted to work on Wall Street. Neither of my parents graduated from high school, and I wanted to work on Wall Street. There I was in this tiny little apartment, inside of a decrepit house, and I wanted to work on Wall Street. We had mice in our apartment, and I wanted to work on Wall Street. I woke up every day to check the mice traps in the morning so my mother and sister didn't have to see them, and I wanted to work on Wall Street. I swept sidewalks, I cleaned horse stalls, I picked pumpkins, I delivered newspapers, I even trapped animals for money. And I had dreams of working on Wall Street. And you want to know what I did? I got to Wall Street. So if any of you are thinking that you can't get to where you want to go from here, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. And I'm not embarrassed, I'm not ashamed, I'm proud. I'm proud of my heritage, I'm proud of my parents, I'm proud of my family, I'm proud of my experiences, I'm proud of being a graduate of Hudson High School. So I say to you, class of 2021, embrace your dreams. Right now, tonight, tomorrow, the day after, and the day after. Please don't tell yourself, I can't. Please don't say, I'm a woman, so I can't. Please don't say, I'm gay, so I can't. Please don't say, I had bad grades, so I can't. Please don't say, my family situation is such, so I can't. Please don't say, I have a child, so I can't. Please don't say, I'm overweight, so I can't. Please don't say, I'm a Muslim, so I can't. Please don't say, I'm a woman, so I can't. Please don't say, I can't. Say, I can. Say, I can. So if you dreamed of being a nurse, you can. If you dreamed of playing baseball, you can. If you dream of being an artist, you can. If you dream of defending your country, you can. If you dream of owning a new car, you can. If you dream of losing weight, you can. If you dream of taking a dream vacation, you can. If you dream of being in a strong, committed relationship, you can. If you dream of running for office, you can. If you dream of retiring, you can. Everything you need is inside of you, and it begins with your dream. So, class of 2021, I ask you, please do not waste what God gave you. Members of the village, you should dream too. Please do not waste what God gave you. Embrace your dream and show us all that you can. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the senior class members of the band and choir will perform Legends Told, written by senior Bryson, Benedict, Moses, and music teacher Scott Vorwald.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Principal Robert J. LaCasse will certify the class of 2021.
All right, the moment we all waited for. Class of 2021, please stand together. All right, here we go. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Suttmeier, ladies and gentlemen, before you is the class of 2021, whose members I certify have met the requirements for graduation and are entitled to receive their diplomas. Everyone be seated, back row stand up.
please hold all applause, and we request that you not howl out until all graduates' names have been announced.
I'm starting. First, Justin David Fairbairn.
Hannah Dorothea Shunk.
Tanner James Shook.
Liliana Louise Shea Johnson.
Deja Unique Squire.
Veda Sky Simmons.
Dewan Taha Tamika.
Gavin Traineal Strickland.
Hassada Rashid Tawny.
Anthony Ford Taylor, Jr.
Catherine Jane Waldron.
Kiara Alexa Trow.
Savannah Madison Webster.
Nicole Patricia Weaver.
Mark Anthony Williams, Jr.
Caden Xavier Keith White.
Asher August Wolf.
Kyron Nazir Wise. Okay, there we go.
Molly Elizabeth Keeler.
Armand Collette.
Most Matali Khatun.
McKenna Lee Krager.
Stephen Tyler Kritzman.
Elijah Brian Kudlek.
Rebecca Jean Lyons.
Mafusa Akhter Luna.
Janae Asia Makala.
Alyssa Renee Mahoney.
Lazari Sashay Miller.
Danielle Michelle McDonald.
Natalia Negron.
Go down. Casey Allen Moore.
Danaea Amalia Oliver Ragland.
Terrell Tequan. Terrell Tequan Davon Lewis Oliver. There he is.
Salma Rahman.
Tanner Jacob Race.
Hayden Lewis Rubino.
You did it! Pierre Noel Rice.
Adriana Lynn Servitor.
Brock Logan Saunders. Go ahead, Brock.
Landon Thomas Garrison.
Victor Gorman.
Savion James Gray.
Michael Green.
Jackson Leo Haig.
Noah Faye Ham.
Dylan Tyler Haskin.
Jahid Hassan.
Noah Tetrell Hedgepeth.
Janayed Hussein.
Abdul Rahman Fad Hatbani.
Jalen Amari Howell.
Aliyah Tajane Hoyt.
Ryan Huang.
Kiona Jamia Hurst.
Abigail Ruth Jepson.
Ashley Marie Jerome.
Melina Yvonne June.
Nathaniel Joshua Johnson.
Hey. Tania Anyana Johnson.
Aaliyah Nicole Jones.
Trinity Michelle Jones.
Emma Rose Bernacki.
Zachary David Bernacki.
Matthew Peter Bose.
Maria Manouche Box. Get it.
Riley Kendall Brown.
Shirley Delilah Shavalik.
Giovanna Nicole Chiarito.
Zachariah Chowdhury.
Annalise Mercedes Cruz.
Hey. Charles Michael Othniel Daly.
Kiara Alice Dandridge.
Peyton Mackenzie Decker.
George De Jesus II.
Morgan Lynn DePass.
Iona Palmer Edwards.
Jordan Rachel Everhart.
Fiona Marie Falvey.
Tasnim Ferdos.
Jesse Christopher Ferguson.
MD Matassim Fuad.
Alo Furlong.
Angelia Benicia Brooklyn Garcia.
Hannah Rose Konow.
Emma Grace Johnson.
Halima Islam Chaudhuri.
Finley Sage Edwin Turnquist.
Hamel Debnah.
Zanul Haq Chowdhury.
Neil Ramon Barqueros Mingua.
Ahmed Altaf Mufti.
Matthew Edward Gower.
Canis Actor.
Kamita Olse.
Jada Petronella Alert.
Brandon Kobe Alexander.
Simon Alam.
Neville Kalan Anderson.
Nishat Anzum.
Autumn Rain Bailey.
Patrick Raymond Barnett Jr.
Alexis Marie Barrett.
Abida Begum.
Noshin Tasnim.
Bryson Odessa Lee Benedict Moses.
All right, class of 2021, please stand once more. Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly present to you the graduates of the Hudson High School class of 2021.
Please stand and join the graduates in the singing of the Hudson High School alma mater, which is found on the back of your graduation program. Please remain in your seats until all the graduates have exited the auditorium.